Hello everybody, my name is KRYPTIK and welcome back to another how to play Black Ops 3 video. Basically within these videos I show you guys the best advantages you can get over your opponents, the best positions you can uptake during the game, and the best ways in which you should go about playing certain maps. So the map we're looking at today is Fringe. Now this is actually one of my favourite maps. I like the way it's laid out, it's pretty easy to learn, and there are a lot of cool things I can tell you guys which will hopefully help you out in game. Alright guys, so let's say you start this side of the spawn. What you need to do is run to your right straight away. Now here we can see a little animation that I've made. Now if you look at the bottom left, there's a green arrow that represents us, and then the top right we've got 3 red arrows that represents the enemy. So if we let the animation play out, we can see the green arrows moving pretty quickly on the right side. Now I've stopped it here just to show you guys a really good bit of cover that could help you out later in the game. So if we jump into the gameplay here, we can see that we're running along that right channel. Now this area I wouldn't recommend for people that use submachine guns. I would definitely recommend it for LMGs or assault rifles. Now the reason being is because the enemies will be appearing at a medium range, which isn't very good for people using submachine guns. But it's a very good place for cover because it makes you quite a small target and it opens up the area in which the enemy will be approaching you guys from. So if we jump back into the animation, we can let it play out and I'll show you guys what you should try and do at the beginning of spawn. So as you can see, that arrow's just disappeared. Now the reason being, that guy's just been taken out. Also you might spot a little black area in which the arrow is on currently at the moment. Now this is actually a bit of cover that you guys can use if you get swamped too quickly. So here we can see I'm actually using this car to my advantage just to cover my right flank and just about pick this guy off. Now this next position we're going to move to is crucial. This is the area you want to be trying to get to at the very beginning of the game. The reason being, you have a massive advantage over your opponents and you can take out quite a few people at once. So if we let the animation play out, we can see we've just taken this guy out and we've taken that guy out on the left. So if we have a look at the gameplay here, you can see I've adopted this position here and people don't really expect you to be there because there's so many other ways in which they can be killed, so it's a very good position. Also you're really narrow and a very small target, so you have a big advantage over your opponents. I would also recommend not jumping through the window right at the beginning, just trying to stay a little bit chilled out and stay in this position as much as you can. Now coming from the other side of spawn is a completely different ball game. The reason being, you guys will almost always have a disadvantage. Now you may wonder why this is, so let me explain. Basically when you guys go around the corner, there are 2 different ways in which the enemy can approach you from. However, when you're coming around the corner and the enemies are on the opposite side, there's only one way in which you can come from. So it's very easy for them to pick you off because they've only got one area in which they need to aim at. So as you can see on screen, an enemy is approaching me on the left and I've got someone coming on my right. Now this is a massive disadvantage because there's multiple targets, so you don't know which one to go for, and they've got double the firepower you have. So a massive tip for you guys is don't even try and go through this area unless you know it's 100% clear, because this will happen. So yeah, don't do that. Right guys, so this map is all about close quarters. So as you can see in this building, here is a really good position that you guys can adopt during the game. So I've frozen it here and you can see on the left I've highlighted this wall, and in front of me I've got that door. Now the reason you don't want to go past this wall is because you've got a door on your right and then you'll have a door on your left as well, so you're basically cornering yourself. So make sure you try and stay behind this wall at all times. As you can see, if we let the gameplay roll out, you can see I didn't manage to pick this guy off, but I don't chase him, I stay behind this wall, keeping that narrow sight so I have that advantage over my opponents and manage to pick myself up a double kill. So if we flip to the other side of spawn, this building on my left is actually one of the best positions you guys can uptake on this map. The reason being, it provides you guys with so many advantage points, so here they are on screen now. So the first position I'm going to show you guys is the window at the back end of the building. This position is advantageous because the enemy don't expect you to be coming from above. Now I'd recommend if you get a kill, you get out of there as quick as possible because people will start to predict your play. Next, I'd recommend for you guys to be wary of this window because the enemy can come through here and catch you out by surprise. Okay guys, so the third position I'll show you is actually out at the back on the roof here. Now as you can see, this opponent has no idea that I'm above him and he didn't even look to confront me with his sight. So this area is actually a really good place, but you have to be quick. So these positions aren't places you can sit and wait for enemies to come by, because the position I was just in, my whole back was open to enemy fire. So you've got to be quick, and that's the reason that this building's so versatile. You need to be checking all the points all the time and making sure that you're always on your guard. Now this position is good because there's a very small area in which the enemy can come through, so it makes it very easy to pick them off quite quickly. Now the roof is actually a very good area in which you guys can use. However, the way in which you use it has to be very quick and versatile. What I mean by this is you guys have to be in and out as quickly as possible, dropping up, dropping down, using your boost mechanism to become as unpredictable as possible. So here we can see an example of where I've dropped down and taken this guy out because he had no idea I was above him. So here is an example of me using the roof to adopt an element of surprise. People don't really expect you to be coming from above, so it is a massive advantage over your opponents. Right guys, so as I said earlier, this map is all about close quarters. Now the only place that's really going to happen is in buildings, so you guys need to know the best way in which to play those areas. So as you can see, we're on the opposite side of the map and there's another building here. Now the way in which to play this area is mainly jumping through the windows, not going up through the stairs, and using those small areas in which you can take people out. Now for this building at the back, what you guys want to do is try and attack it more than defend it, because it's quite hard to defend given there's a lot of open space inside. However, as you can see, I've taken this guy out because that's a narrow door frame, as yet again it is advantageous towards us because it's a small area in which he can come through. Now the main function for this building, I'd say, is actually getting behind the enemy and getting into their spawn. The reason I say this is because there's windows everywhere and there's a door available at the back which allows you to get behind the enemy and pick them off. So as you can see, I've taken that guy out and his teammate on the right. Now one of the main tips I give you guys is to actually use this fence to your advantage. Now what I mean by this is you guys actually need to jump over the fence instead of going around the corner, because it's unpredictable and you'll be coming from above, so you have that advantage over your enemies. It usually pays off pretty well, so you should give it a go. Now here I've put my favourite submachine gun class on screen so you guys can have a look at it, maybe try it out yourselves, and hopefully it works for you. Okay guys, so that's the end to today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope some of these tips and tricks will help you out when you're playing online on the map Fringe. Now if you guys could let me know in the comments below whether you want me to keep doing these tips videos, maybe I should do a live commentary or something like that, that would be great. I hope you guys have had a good week and I'll see you guys on the next video.